Hello everyone. Through this video, we will be understanding the taxability provisions in respect of service by way of renting of motor vehicle. So we focus our attention on forward charge or normal charge under section 9 subsection 1 of CGST Act 2017. So when there is a supply of service, the service in respect of renting of motor vehicle, that is, the service provider provides motor vehicles on rent to the recipient of service. Further, when we say motor vehicle, by that we mean the motor vehicles meant or designed to carry passengers. Therefore, the goods carriages are not considered here. Further, the cost of fuel is included in the consideration charged from the recipient of service. So having these points in mind, let us understand how is the GST applicable under forward charge. There are two options available to the service provider. Option number 1, to charge the tax rate at 2.5% as CGST and 2.5% as SGST, thus making the total as 5%. When the GST is charged at the rate 5% in total, then there is restriction on claiming input tax credit, and ITC is available in respect of input service in the same line of business. Thus, no other input tax credit can be availed. Option number 2, that the tax be charged at 6% as CGST and 6% as SGST, totaling up to 12%. When the tax is charged in the invoice at a higher rate of 12%, then there is no restriction on the availment of input tax credit. That is, the credit of input tax charged on goods and services used in supplying the service can be taken. Let us now understand the concept of forward charge with the help of an example. So there is a service provider. We may call it a supplier of service. And let us have the name Budhiraja Travels in our example. And further, we assume that it is a body corporate and located in Delhi. And there is a recipient of service. Let us name it Kapoor and Sons. Further assumed that it is a partnership firm and located in Delhi again. So there is a supply of service happening from the service provider to the recipient, and the service is of renting or hiring of motor vehicles. The motor vehicles which are meant to carry passengers. Now let us say Kapoor and Sons take on hire 10 motor vehicles from Budhiraja Travels. And out of these 10 motor vehicles, 6 motor vehicles are owned by Budhiraja Travels and 4 motor vehicles are taken on hire by, let's say, Satguru Travels. Now, the service provider, while raising the invoice in the name of the recipient of service, has 2 options available to him. Option number 1, to charge the GST at 2.5% as CGST and 2.5% as SGST. So we understand with such rates of taxes, we have ITC restriction, input tax credit of input service in the same line of business can only be claimed. When we say same line of business, by that we mean service procured from another service provider of transporting passengers in a motor vehicle or renting of a motor vehicle. In this example, Budhiraja Travels can claim input tax credit in respect of 4 motor vehicles which are taken on hire from Satguru Travels. And the service provider, Budhiraja Travels, also has another option, option number 2, that the invoice be raised and the tax be charged at the rate 6% CGST and 6% SGST. Of course, without any restriction on claiming input tax credit. That is, credit of input tax charged on goods and services used in supplying the service, outward service, can be taken. Thank you for watching. This is Sonal Babbar signing off.